So also I am sharing the screen. So have you anyone seen the documented or the class handwritten note that I have uploaded on the MS Teams?
Yes, है
Sir,
हमारे
it's
पास.
very
Yes, sir.
visible. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I recommend to you that so don't get you can say that impatient or have anxiety in your part. Just you have to solve the numericals what I have discussed in the class. Okay, and plus see the PPT what I have uploaded on the LMS. See my class handwritten notes and solve the numericals based on that. Plus solve the assignment, and for those type of problems you can solve it on the this from the SS Bhavikarti book or DS Kumar book. So slowly and slowly you will be finding that you are able to solve the numericals and you will get the confidence of solving them for the and prepare them for the examination. So I am getting I am right now teaching very slowly so that you all can understand all the basic part, because if I run fast then it will be difficult for you to learn everything. So I am running little bit slow. So I am just sharing both. I will be sharing first. I will be sharing the this PPT. Then I will be sharing the class notes of the friction. Okay, theory part today we will be discussing only, and after that we will be discussing about the numerical part, and that will be doing from tomorrow onwards. So before that, just I will be on the blank PPT. I will just explain you or tell you what are the topics covered here, so that you can able to understand. Though it is mentioned on the LMS also and session plan also, but I want that you should also write here, and you should also know about the different questions what can be there. So I am just writing it here for your simplicity. Now we are discussing the second part of the first module. Till now, I just remind you what we have discussed. We have discussed the coplanar force system, concurrent coplanar force system. In that, we have discussed about free body diagram, what is reaction. Then we have discussed about what is Lami's theorem. Then we have discussed about different types of support, different types of beam, what is UDL, what is UVL, and then we start doing the numericals based on the resolution of force, and then on the Lami's theorem. Okay, and after that we have discussed problems on the sphere. In the class we have discussed about 4 to 5 problems on sphere, and after that I have solved some numericals based on Lami's theorem, and thereafter I have discussed with you what is moment, and after moment I have discussed with you this uh, what is Waringen's theorem, and after Waringen's theorem I have discussed one numerically with you how you have to find out the force couple system. If you remember in the last lecture I have discussed with you. So that all we have done for the first module, first part. Okay, now we are discussing the second part of the first module. So you can see here, this is the second part. Here is friction. So if I go for the topics covered here that you should know, this here is the basics of friction. You can make a note of it on a register. Type of friction here, static, dynamic friction, and the limiting friction. Then simple basics we have know that coefficient of friction, in this we are left one more thing here, laws of friction. So I have written here limiting friction. So I am writing also here graph. Please mute your mic. This page you have written it.
Sir, just 1 second.
Okay, just write everything, and I will proceed to next some more topics here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after that we will be discussing. This is a part we have to study in the second part of the first module. So now the syllabus has been changed. Earlier it was that this friction comes in the second module. So we have belt friction and the screw jack, and the derivation of screw jack is there. Numericals on screw jack is there. And now the syllabus has been revised. So only we will be discussing screw jack and self-locking of machines. Okay. So this is the syllabus for the last part of the first module. So after this, our first module will be complete. So have you written this? So if we go from first of all, or from first page, in the friction part, you should know what is friction or the basics of friction, what is friction, why the friction is necessary, okay, what is the ability of friction when there is a, when the body is moving and tries to move, there is a force of, which is act in the direction opposite to the motion, which tries to oppose the motion of that particular body. So that is called as friction. So if we talk for the types of friction, we have static friction, we have dynamic friction, and we have limiting friction here, and we have laws of friction for the both cases, static friction and the kinetic or the dynamic friction. Okay, so you should know there can be in examination, can anybody ask you what is laws of friction, then you have to write for the laws of static friction and also for the laws of kinetic friction or the dynamic friction. So what is limiting friction? Is the maximum frictional force or the maximal force that can be exerted on the body before the body start moving. So this is the maximum frictional force or the maximum friction which can be, or the force which can be offered on the body so that body should not move. Or you can say after that, if we apply the tractive force more, then what will happen? Body will start moving. So this is the limiting friction. Then coefficient of friction, you know it very well. Coefficient of friction is very simple. It's mu, just noted by mu, and its value is always less than 1. So simply F is equal to mu into R, we can say here from that. Mu is the coefficient of friction and F is the force of friction which is applied, and R is the normal reaction of that particular object with the surface. Then angle of friction, very simple, that you have already done it in the 11, 12, but still we can remind here. So mu is equal to 10 phi, where phi is the angle of friction. This is the formula for this. And angle of repose, we can say alpha is equal to phi. This derivation you have to prove, where you can clearly see alpha is angle of repose, or you can say maximum angle of the inclination, so that the body should not slide down. So if we can say this diagram very simple here, and if we have an inclined plane like that, so this will be the angle of this is the alpha and this is theta here. So this is the angle of repose. So it is the maximum inclination of an plane so that the body should not comes down or moves downward. Okay, so if we increase alpha to a certain extent, then if it comes down, then obviously frictional force is reduced. So maximum inclination of the plane so that the body remains in the position where it is right now. So it is called as angle of repose. So we will be discussing in detail, and this is a derivation you have to prove in examination. It came for 2 marks, that what is angle of friction and how it is equal to the angle of repose. That I have put here alpha is equal to phi, that you have to derive. So at times 1 or 2 marks it come in the examination. Last part is graph of limiting friction. So the graph is something like that. I think you have also studied in the like that. This is the graph of the limiting friction, and there are some parameters here. So we will explain all these points, how this graph is been calculated. So this is the graph of limiting friction. So remember, from this second part of the module, theory part can come. Anybody can ask you what is this laws of friction, what is static friction, what is dynamic friction, what is limiting friction. Explain it with the graph. So then you have to explain with the graph for the 2 marks. So anybody can ask you what is angle of friction, what is angle of repose, and derivation for angle of friction, how it is equal to angle of repose. So these basic definitions can come in examination. So this is the theoretical part, and you should, I think you have already done in 11, 12. So you can prepare it very easily. Next part is numericals on ability of collecting bodies. So this is the part of numerical. These are 2 types of numericals we have. This is the type 1 numerical. Okay. Type 2 is ladder friction here. Type 2 numerical. So these 2 types of numerical we have to study from this remaining part of the first module. One, we will discussing on the numericals on the IBD. You can see, if you can remember, that if a block is like that and second block is like here, like that. Okay, if I put here a tension here, and this is the wall here, angle here is 30 degree. So anybody can ask you what is the tension in the cable, or what are the reaction forces on these 2 blocks. Okay, so you have solved all these problems in your, you can say, 11th, 12th. So we are just recapping all these problems here. Okay, so just remember, these are the 2 types of numerical we have to study here. Type 1 is the bodies from connecting bodies, sorry, ability of the connecting bodies, and second one is numericals based on the ladder friction. So ladder friction is like that. You can say this is the wall here, and this is the ladder placed here. Okay, and a man is moving on the ladder like that. If he slips here, then calculate the distance by which the man moves so that the slipping of ladder should start. So these types of problems comes here. So we will be discussing on the also the type 2 problems here for the ladder, and the other type 1 problem. So before the starting of any chapter, I always gives you the idea which types of numericals there in the particular module and which types of theory are there. So this is the theory part here. Okay, and second here, this is the numerical part here, and the last part here is screw jack. Screw jack, I have already told you. If you can remember, if you have the car at the home and if you get the puncture in the tires, what you do? You take out the jack and you rotate the handle, and by that what happens? The car gets lifted, and once the car gets lifted, after that you take out the tire and do the operations and again put the tire in the car, and what you do? You reverse the handle or rotate the handle in anti-clockwise direction, and the car comes down on the surface. So this is the application of screw jack. This is the device which is used to lift the heavy loads, and here the example is car. And for the self-locking, if you ask me what is self-locking, it is a condition when the load does not come down on its own after the removal of effort. For example, see application of car. So when you have rotated the handle, what happens? After rotating the handle, then load get lifted or the car get lifted, and you can see the car does not come down on its own until you rotate the handle once again in the reverse direction to the jack, so that the car comes down to its original position again. So the condition when the car does not or the load does not comes down on its own, it's called as self-locking. This is the definition of self-locking, and this is the example. And what is the mathematical condition for self-locking to occur? You should remember in Viva, anybody can ask you self-locking condition. I am writing here for you. Self-locking condition is number 1. This is phi should be greater than alpha, and second is efficiency should be less than 50%. These two conditions you should remember. These are the mathematical condition. Mathematical condition for a screw jack to be self-locking. Number 1, phi should be greater than alpha. Phi is the angle of friction and alpha is the angle of repose, or you can say here the angle of screw here. Okay, so phi should be greater than angle of alpha, and second is efficiency should be less than 50%. So when you are in the lab, when you are doing the practical of screw jack, when you are doing the practical of worm wheel, simple wheel, differential wheel. Okay, so 4 practicals when you are doing, I am repeating once again. Screw jack when you are doing, simple wheel when you are doing, worm wheel when you are doing, and the fourth one is differential wheel when you are doing it. So in this case, you have to determine whether the machine is self-locking or not. So if the condition, or after calculation, this is the theoretical condition or mathematical condition, but when we are doing the experimental part, this will not be considered. This will be only considered there. Efficiency should be less than 50%. If the efficiency is coming out to be less than 50%, then you can say that directly the machine is self-locking. And if it is coming more than 50%, then you can say that equipment or the machine is not self-locking. So what is the meaning of self-locking? On the removal of effort, when the load does not comes down on its own, this condition is called as self-locking. So this is clear now. What is self-locking and what is the condition for self-locking of the machines? Phi should be greater than alpha,
Sir?
and second is efficiency should be less than 50%. Yes, ask.
Sir, in the 7th point, you said derivation of angle of friction is equal to angle of repose, and in self-locking, angle of friction is greater than angle of repose.
In which part you are saying?
Sir, in the friction part, you said that angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. We have to do the derivation of that.
On this
And
one,
in self-locking, the first point is angle of friction is greater than angle of repose.
yeah. Here I am saying that you can say this is not the angle of repose. Here this is friction screw angle. Okay.
मतलब
Alpha is,
जो स्क्रू के थ्रेड्स होते हैं उसके बीच में एंगल
yes, yes. I can explain you here. I will explain it in the lab also. You see, this is the spindle here, okay, and these are some threads here. One thread, second thread, okay, third thread. So distance between the two threads is known as
pitch.
pitch. P is the pitch. Okay. So when you are calculating this, this is an example of an inclined plane. So tan alpha will be equal to pi upon P dm, where dm is the mean diameter, pi is the 22/7 or the 3.14 value, and dm is the mean diameter of this spindle or the screw. Okay. So here we will calculate the alpha from here. So if we draw it like that, this will be like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Clear now?
Yes, sir.
So now self-locking is clear to you, and what is this screw jack is clear to you. This part we have to study in the friction. This is the theoretical part we will be studying here, and the next part we will be studying here the numerical part. Numericals on the FBD of the connecting bodies and ladder friction. This is also very important article. And in the end, basics of screw jack and what is self-locking. That we will be discussing in this part. So after that, our first module will be complete. Okay, so syllabus part is clear to everybody. So I am just emphasizing mostly on this syllabus part. First of all, that you should understand what is the syllabus part, how we have to study there, and what we have to study. You should not just study irrelevant things that then later on you say to me that, sir, we are not what we have studied, we are not getting the examination. Okay, so you should study the relevant part, though you can study anything to enhance your knowledge. Okay, practical knowledge you can enhance, or theoretical knowledge if you want to enhance further, then you can study anything. But these things are only the relevant part for your syllabus as the syllabus is concerned. Fine. So it is clear now. Should I remove this slide? Both the slides?
Yes, sir.
So now I coming to the basic part here. So what I am doing, I am just explaining with this PPT, then I will show you my handwritten notes and I will upload it on the MS Team. Concept of limiting friction, Coulomb law of dry friction, and introduction to friction, static and dynamic friction, whatever I have told you, this already been mentioned here. So you can see introduction to friction is simply the force that opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces of which are in contact, and the force of friction always act in the direction opposite to that of applied force. So see here, this is the first diagram here, and you can see in the first diagram what is happening. There is no force of friction. Okay, there is no force of friction, surface is perfectly smooth. And see, this is the P force which we are applying here, and you should know what is the symbolic definition of this P force. P force will always called as tractive force. You can make a note in your register. P force will always called as tractive force, and it is the force which tries to move the block in any particular direction. You can see there. In the first case, what is happening? Tractive force P is trying to move the block in that direction, and here surfaces are smooth. That means there is no friction between the block and the surface. So only this direction of the FBD will be there. Is it clear? First diagram. P is the force acting down, outward, and W acting downward, and N or the R. So we can say N or oblique R. Fine. You can say N or R. So both are same. So we can use N also. We can use R also here. So R the reaction which is offered by the frictional flow, and sorry, not frictional, it's a smooth flow on the block, and W is the weight which is acting downward, and P is the tractive force which is trying to move the block. And the second case you can see, now the resistance is offered when the surfaces are rough. While surfaces are rough, there is some friction between the surface and the block. So due to this, a frictional force will be there, and you can say, we all know it very well. Frictional force is a force which tries to oppose the motion of any particular object in any direction. So P is the tractive force which we are applying here. See, if there is no tractive force here, if this force is not there, this force is not there, so there will not be any frictional force. Okay. So when the tractive force come into action, when we try to move the block in rightward direction, so now the frictional force come into picture, because there is a frictional force or the resistance force between the surface and the block. So frictional force will come into action. So it is noted by F. So this will be in the opposite direction to the tractive force. So whenever the word tractive force is there, then you should understand what is the meaning of tractive force. Tractive force is the force which tries to move the block against the friction in any direction. So you can write the definition of tractive force also, because this word you will be using it number of times when you are solving the numericals. A tractive force of that value is tries to move the block. So you can write the definition of tractive force. So tractive force is a force which tries to move the block in any direction opposite to the frictional force. So this is the meaning of tractive force. So you can simply see the definition of friction. So it is a frictional frictional force or the friction is it's a force which tries to move against the motion of the body which is caused by the tractive force. So simply you can see, so friction exists between the two surfaces due to irregularities on the surface of the objects in contact. Okay, so you are not going to too much detail in the friction because this is not too much in your syllabus or it is not relevant for you. So just you should know only the definition of friction, and you should also know the meaning of tractive force and what is the frictional force here. Fine. Now the second slide. So some cases are shown here, and you can see when the block is at rest, W is acting downward, and this N or the R reaction force is also occurring here. And the second part is here. See, when the motion is equilibrium is maintained, means P is greater than 0 but is very small and it is not able to move the object. See, this is the condition. When P is greater than 0 but is very small, that means it is not able to overcome the frictional force, so equilibrium will be maintained and there will not be any motion. This is the condition here shown. Then here see, P1 is greater than P, means P1 is the force which is little bit more than the tractive force which is earlier there, and this is the frictional force F1. And the third one is P2. When P2 is greater than P1 is greater than P, point of impending motion, and this is equilibrium is maintained when there is no motion. So these are the three conditions which have been shown here. So P3 or P2 is greater than P1, and so this is the point of impending motion, what is called as, at this point, maximum frictional force being offered by the surface onto the block so that the block still remains in equilibrium at the verge of impending motion. Impending motion means, what is the meaning of impending? Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of impending?
About to move.
Yes, yes. So impending means about to move or at verge to move. Means if we apply little bit more tractive force, then frictional force will reduce. Okay, so this is the maximum frictional force which can be offered on the body, and this is the P2, the force here. If we exceed little bit more P2, then what will happen? Frictional force will come down, and here it is the limiting friction comes. So this is the point here, PS maximum here, it is the limiting friction, limiting friction. So what I have told you earlier, it is the maximum frictional force that can be offered on the object by any surface, so that beyond which if we increase the tractive force, then the motion will start and the frictional force will get reduced. So you can see in this diagram P3 the frictional force which is greater than P2. So what is after that, what is happening here? You can say when we increase P2, then frictional force will ultimately reduce, and what is here Fk is how much? This is the kinetic friction will come. Kinetic friction will come only when the body starts moving. So this is the diagram, or this is the graph of the limiting force or the limiting friction here, variation of frictional force with respect to the applied force. So this is the 2 or 3 cases here I have explained you, when there is no friction, or you can say the body at rest, when there is friction but the tractive force is very small. So again the equilibrium is maintained, and again P1 is the tractive force whose value is little bit greater than 0, but still it is not able to move the motion, or it is not still the more than the frictional force F1. And the last case here, maximum frictional force is applied on the block, and this is the point of impending motion, and if we put force little bit over P2, then what will happen? Frictional force will reduce or limiting force will reduce, and what will happen then? Frictional force will be minimum and the body will set into motion. So this is the Fs, the maximum static frictional force, and you can say when the body is in motion, kinetic friction comes into action. So last here the graph of the limiting friction. So I will also explain it with my handwritten notes. So you can just see this, and I will explain it with the handwritten notes also. So then you can see the practical applications of friction, where friction is desirable. So when you are using the pen with the paper to write it on the paper, then little bit friction has to be there, so that otherwise what will happen? Pen will slide and pen will not be able to move on the paper. So this friction is required. Friction between our feet and ground is allows of the movement like standing and walking or running. So there's little bit friction is required. So third is friction between the surface of the road and tires of the vehicle allows the vehicle to move without this slipping. So sometimes the questions come, friction is necessary, well you can say, then you have to write it like that. Friction is required because if there is no friction, what will happen? Body will slide, body will not able to move, body will slip. So some friction has to be there. So for that examples you can write here example of pen paper, and our feet which is moving on the ground. We are standing, we are walking, we are running because of some friction which is exists between the feet and the ground. If there is no friction, then what will happen? We will slip and we will not be able to stand. And if friction is more, then still there will be also a problem. So little bit friction is required, not more friction is required. So friction is also undesirable. Friction causes the moving object to stop then or slow down. So this is the point here when the friction is more than the tractive force. Friction produces the heat causing the wastage of energy in the machines. So when you can say when the machine is working, when a tool is moving on the workpiece, and if the tool is getting little wear, so and if there is a friction little bit you can say wear and tear there, then what will happen? The tool will not able to cut the workpiece, and some wastage of heat and wastage of some more energy is also there. So friction is if it is more, then it's also not desirable. So these are the examples of the friction where it is desirable and where it is not desirable. Then we have these the laws of dry friction. Simply, frictional force always acted such to oppose the body. Very simple. Magnitude of frictional force exactly equal to the tangential component of the force which tends to move the body until the limiting value is reached, and Fs is directly proportional to n, and we can say that Fs is equal to mu s into n. This is the case for the static friction here, not for the kinetic friction. Okay, for the static friction, Fs is maximum is equal to mu s into n, and mu s is the maximum or the coefficient of static friction. Fine. So this is the Coulomb's law of dry friction, and you can say this is for the static friction we are saying, and similarly we have laws for the kinetic or the dynamic friction. Okay, then the coefficient of friction here, angle of friction is there, and angle of repose that I have shown here. This is the angle of friction here, and this is the angle of repose. I have already told you, if a block is like that here, and this is the angle of friction, and this is the weight theta. So W here, and this is R. So W cos theta and W sin theta. This is R here. This will be W cos theta and this will be W sin theta. So angle of repose is the maximum inclination of any plane so that the body should not slide, or you can say the object should not slide downward. So this is about this from the slides. So I am just sharing you my handwritten notes, and then I will upload these handwritten notes on the MS Team so that you can study them also. So try to make the notes, your registered notes with the handwritten notes, so that it will be easier for you. This is again, this is the basic diagram of the friction. P is the tractive force, F the frictional force, and S, this is the S here, resultant between R and W is the weight acting downward. Okay, and R is the normal reaction. Then you can see here laws of static friction. So you can study from these also. It is the what is the static friction I have said here. It is the friction offered by the surfaces subjected to the external force until there is no relative motion between them. Or simply you can say it is the friction experienced by the body when it is at rest. Okay, when the body is at rest, then what is the friction experienced by the body? That is called as static friction. Then we have the laws laws of dry friction here. And you can see same which see in the slides. So just is it only the very basic part here. So you can note down on the register, or you can just take the printout and stick in your register this handwritten notes, and it will be very quick learning for you. And laws of dynamic friction here. So what is dynamic friction? It is a friction experienced by the body when it is in motion. Okay, when the body is in motion, what is the friction experienced by the body? This is called as dynamic friction. And again, we have these laws of dynamic friction. Force of friction always act in the direction opposite to that in which the body is moving. Magnitude of dynamic friction be as a constant ratio to the normal reaction. And for the moderate speed, force of friction remains constant, but it decreases slightly with increasing speed. It's very clear. When the speed or the block of the speed or the tractive force which are actually causing the motion is less, then what will happen? Force of friction is more or it is constant. But when we increase the speed, when the tractive force is more, then what will happen? Force of friction will get reduced. So F is equal to mu q into R. So very simple. Mu q is always less than mu s, because mu s is the maximum force, or consider the frictional force or the coefficient of friction which tries to stop the block before it is in motion. So when the block is at rest, mu s is there. When the block is in motion, it is mu k. So mu q is always less than mu s. And this is very important. This you can make it in your register. This limiting friction, this graph, you can study it and you can make it in your register. Okay, this is very important for 2 marks. Limiting friction, you can see 0 to 1. Zone of static friction is there, and here you can see this is the frictional force here, Fk Fs, and this is the applied force or the tractive force where applied in the rightward direction. So when the static conditions there, frictional force and the tractive force balance is there, you can see zone of static friction is there. Here you can see there is a balance between these two. If we increase tractive force, frictional force also increase. You can say this. These two are directly proportional to this point 1. So this is called as zone of static friction, and from next there comes a limit beyond which frictional force cannot increase and the block is set into motion. So from here what will happen? This is a dotted line here. From here to here the frictional force dropped here. So from here to here actually the limiting friction is coming down, and 1 is the point of limiting friction, and 2 here it is the point where after that block starts into motion. So there comes a limit beyond which the frictional force cannot increase and block is set into motion. So maximum frictional force is called as limiting friction. So limiting friction is the maximum frictional force at the time of impending motion or when the motion is about to begin. And the third is 2 to 3 is the zone of kinetic friction. When the motion of the block starts or the commence, frictional force drop to a lower value called as the kinetic friction. So such a state is depicted by line 2 to 3 and this is called as zone of kinetic friction. So in examination 2 marks theory question always come. What is limiting friction and explain it with the graph. So this is the graph for you and this is the explanation. So I will be providing you this handwritten notes and you just make it in your register also. Okay. What is limiting friction? What is the graph for it? Then very simple coefficient of friction, you know it very well. Mu s is equal to Fs upon R and mu q is equal to F upon R. So I will be giving you this notes. So these all are self-explanatory. So there is no point for you to explain here. Last here is angle of friction here. So it is the angle with the resultant of normal reaction and the limiting force of friction makes with the normal reaction. So see here, this is the block here. Tractive force is acting rightward, frictional force is acting leftward because of that. And if I make the vector diagram here, frictional force in this direction, S is the resultant of R and F, and R is the reaction force between the surface and the object, and W is the weight of the object which is acting downward. So you can see from here tan theta is given by F upon R. If you say this is a triangle, then F upon R is the tan theta. And from this you can simply say mu is equal to tan theta, and also we know F is equal to mu R. So from there mu is equal to tan theta. This is the expression for angle of friction. So in examination, anybody can ask you what is angle of friction. You simply write the definition, make this diagram and write the formula. And similarly for the force of friction, just write the definition and the formula. And similarly limiting friction, just write the definition and the graph. Okay, and these are the laws of direct friction and static friction. And this is the basics of friction, what it is. So I think this is clear to you. Only one part is left, angle of repose, that I will be discussing tomorrow, and then the numerical part. So today's lecture is clear to you, students?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I will be sharing you this handwritten notes also, so that you can make it in your register. Okay, and these are the, you can say, these are very quick learning notes for you, and it will be very beneficial for you. So I will stop here, and I will take the attendance now.
Sir, have you shared handwritten notes of last topic
Yes, I have shared today morning
on LMS?
on the MS Team. Handwritten notes will not be shared on LMS. It will be shared only on the MS Team. So I have shared it on the MS Team. So this also I will share it on the MS Team. So for the attendance now, Jashandeep,
Present, sir.
296, Zima,
Present, sir.
Divyam, 299,
Present, sir.
Mohit,
Present, sir.
Shekhar,
Present, sir.
Sahil,
Present, sir.
Vanshika,
Present, sir.
Vidhi,
Present, sir.
Shivansh,
Present, sir.
then Hiran Sahani,
Present, sir.
Samil Chaudhary,
Present, sir.
then Diksha,
Present, sir.
Yash,
Present, sir.
Vanshveer,
Present, sir.
Ankirat,
Present, sir.
Neha Goyal,
Present, sir.
Parth,
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
Aditya Rajput,
Present, sir.
Satvik.
Present, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, sir, I didn't get the PDF of second experiment from the CR. So in last class, you told me that you will forward the PDF to him.
I have already forwarded the same day.
But sir, I have messaged
Satvik,
him, but he has not
Satvik,
replied.
just listen, just a just a minute. Satvik, where are you?
I'm here, sir.
You have not shared the lab experiment to the student.
I have shared, sir. I'll share it
No,
again.
Just
no,
cross check it.
brother, you have not shared.
So
Okay,
We
Satvik,
have
I'll do it
completed the
again.
work.
Satvik, please ensure that you are sharing it, because it is getting delayed. Today evening they have to submit. Okay, otherwise
Okay, sir.
I have to see some other option of uploading. And please do this activity with proper responsibility in future. Aditya Kumar,
Present, sir.
Rajwal,
Sir, present, sir.
Shantanu,
Present, sir.
Naman,
Present, sir.
Yuvraj,
Present, sir.
Kushagra,
Present, sir.
Nikita,
Present, sir.
Pragati,
Present, sir.
Arunit,
Present, sir.
Hemang,
Present, sir.
Aryan, Rakshit.
Present, sir. Aryan.
Okay, Rakshit.
Present, sir. 346. Rakshit.
Okay, Aryan,
Sir, 347 present, Aryan.
Nirbir,
Present, sir.
Parth,
Present, sir.
and Bhavya.
Present, sir.
Okay. So if you have any issues, you can stay, otherwise you all can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, what is the last date to send you all the experiment?
Today evening.
Today evening. Okay, sir.
Okay, to take it from the CR if you're not taken it, and submit it to him by today evening.
Okay, sir. I have sent him a
What do
message.
we have to submit by today evening?
Today evening you have to submit all the practical which we have done on Thursday.
For X batch.
Yes, only for the X batch.
Okay, sir.